What is up, my animation geeks? It is Jay, and today we're going to be doing a movie day, because it's like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I am bored, and there's nothing else to do, so why not watch a movie and film for you guys? So today we're going to be reviewing, or not reviewing, we're going to be, well, we're reviewing it too. We're going to be watching Billy and Mandy, The Big Boogie Adventure. If you guys have seen this, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and get right into watching this movie and see if it's good.
Hey, I'm Jay, and all my life I've been obsessed with animated TV shows. So after discovering people on YouTube who enjoy animation just as much as I do, I decided to make my own videos on collecting, hunting, news, and reviews based around animated TV shows. So sit back, relax, and enjoy what my channel has to offer you. Oh yeah, don't forget, keep watching Jay Toonz.
So the movie starts off with a title, and it says Endsville 2 weeks in the future. 2 weeks into the future. So we're there 2 weeks into the future, and you see a Billy and Mandy robots and a boss who is not revealed because you can't see his face. And the minion of the boss tells the robots, go into the past, pretend to be Billy and Mandy, and take their place until I give you further instructions. And then they jump into the portal, but you see Billy and Erwin hiding in a pile of trash, and Billy says we have to jump into the portal to stop everything from. He doesn't say it exactly like this because Billy's, dumb, but they have to jump into the portal to stop everything from happening. And then he goes, horror's hand, and so far we don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. And then we have no idea who the boss is, the main villain, the guy who's hiding his face behind the robe. But yeah, so far I like the whole creepy vibe of it, but let's go ahead and just continue. I like the song. The guy who sung the song in the Brains episode, I don't know if you guys remember that. I don't know the official name of the episode, but he sings this one. I love the way he sings, and I love the Brains song so much. It's just a classic. When I hear that song, it brings me back to when I watched it as a kid. I love that song so much. And hearing this guy's voice, it just brings me back to watching Billy and Mandy when I was younger. Billy and Erwin, I keep wanting to say Billy and Mandy. Billy and Erwin they don't jump through the portal at all. Billy says, "Oh, I forgot to jump into the portal because I was watching the beginning credits," which you guys just heard the song. Why, Billy? Why? But then they have the idea to make their own portal. They don't know how to make their own portal. The robot of the future cops, I don't know what to call them, but they come. It looks like they're about to arrest them, and then it says 2 weeks earlier. So now that we are 2 weeks into the future in the movie, you see Grim trying to do his job, and of course Billy and Mandy come along to ruin it. He tries to take General Scar's life, but General Scar ends up running away because of Billy and Mandy. They go on this big chase. General Scar gets away because it just never goes right for Billy, Mandy, and Grim. So Scar gets away. Grim is mad because he might lose his job because he's not meeting the quotas of dead people, which is weird. And then these monster cops come, take him away for not doing his job, and we'll see what happens now. Turns out that Boogey, the boogeyman, is actually behind Grim getting arrested. He takes him to court and says that Grim is not, or Grim is abusing his powers. He brings up all these arguments that have happened over the series, which is pretty cool. How Grim always loses his scythe, or his whatever that weapon is called. He's always using it. Multiple people have took it and tried to rule the world with it. And Grim says it's all because of Billy and Mandy. They mess up everything, blah, 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 blah. And the judge ends up siding with Boogey and takes away Grim's powers and gives full custody of the Grim Reaper's powers to Boogey, and Boogie has to choose a new Grim Reaper. And then so far, I don't know what's gonna happen with them, but it's funny because Grim's like, "Who are you gonna give the powers to? The kids next door?" That was so funny. I love that little reference. Sorry, my mom's dog is crying. So I like that little reference. It was pretty funny. The robots show up at Billy's house, and the robots are talking now. The robot is, I don't know, it's kind of weird because the robot's like, "Why are we gonna kill them?" Mandy's robot is saying we must fulfill, our duties. We must obey. And then Billy busts the wall through Billy's door, or Billy's robot busts the wall to through the busts the wall to get into the house, and he tells the Billy's father to show him whatever so he could learn Billy's way so he could pretend to be Billy. And Mandy just stays there. They're on the ship with Boogie and his crew, his pirate crew, and Fred Fredburger is there. Now I know a lot of people hate Fred Fredburger. I know a lot of people do. They find him annoying. They find him just not useful for the show. Me and my brother, we love Fred Fredburger. It was a continued joke when we were younger. When Fred Fredburger first came out, we used to have jokes and inside jokes about Fred Fredburger. And it was just so funny. So me and my brother, we actually really like Fred Fredburger. So I'm not one of the people who thinks he's annoying. I think he's funny. I just really enjoy Fred Fredburger. I just thought I should throw that in there. So we find out what the horror's hand is, and what it is. It's basically a glove, a gauntlet that whoever can conquer their deepest, darkest fears, they can hold the gauntlet, and they can make other people's fears come true, and basically have people fear them. And the Boogie wants it so that kids, in the show can be scared of him again because they're not. Besides Irwin, but he thinks that if he holds it, he can not only scare the kids but scare everybody, scare the adults, scare everybody, and he could rule basically with that gauntlet, with that hand. And so that's basically the whole point of it. Is just the boogeyman trying to get his hands on the horror's hands so he could basically make everybody fear him. So now we're at the part where Boogie is going to throw Grim, Billy, Mandy, and Irwin. I don't know about Irwin's there. Throw all of them off of the boat into lava. But before they can, Billy starts busting out in the song. And I hate musicals. I hate when movies bust out in song. It's just not my thing. That is why I hardly watch Disney movies. Frozen, or any of those Cinderella movies. I really don't like them because they bust out in song. I don't really like musicals. If I want to listen to music, I will pop in my iPod, and listen to some music. But when I'm watching a movie, I don't want to hear music. I want to watch the movie, you know. But anyway, Billy busts out in song, and while Boogeyman and his crew are distracted, not Billy, Mandy and Grim and Irwin go find a boat. They ended up telling Billy, "Let's go," while everybody's distracted singing, and they escape in the boat. And while they're escaping in the boat, we go back to Billy's house, and Mandy is searching through all over Billy's house. And while the Mandy bot is searching, around the house, Billy's dad is showing Billy Robot, the types of stuff that they do, and all that stuff. Now, Grim, Billy, Mandy, and Irwin, for some reason, they start their adventure to get Grim's powers back and to stop Boogie from getting his hands on the horror's hands. But they come across a guy, the gatekeeper, and they have to pass the test to get past the door, and they pass the test. But the monster tries to eat them. While they are fighting the monsters, the two robots go to Boogie and say, "We are here to help. We are here to assassinate Billy and Mandy." Of course, the Billy bot is starting to have feelings because he was hanging out with Billy's dad, and he is just turning into Billy completely. But the Mandy bot still wants to kill Billy and Mandy. Cut back to Billy and Mandy and Grim. They end up getting away from the monster, but a cake swims up onshore to them. Of course, they taste it, they pass out, and it turns out that Billy and Mandy bot put in a sleeping potion to put them to sleep to basically knock them out so they could take them and probably kill them. So Boogey ends up just taking Mandy because she is the brains of the operation. None of them can work without her because she is the brains of the operation. She is, So now they have to get Grimm's powers back, stop Boogey, and rescue Mandy. And you have Grim, Billy, and Erwin, which is not the best team. So let's see how it goes. So Erwin ends up saving Mandy because the power of love, yo. and so they end up saving her. The Mandy bot comes and tries to kill them, but she ends up going haywire because she can't be Mandy because Mandy doesn't take orders. She doesn't say please. Mandy does her own thing, and the bot didn't understand, so she went all haywire. And now they need a way to get off of the boat. They escape and get to the hand first, but they are stopped by Horror, which is the hand's owner, I guess. He cut it off to be brave, blah 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 blah. They are stopped by him, and the Kraken takes Billy, and now Grim and Boogey have to do this cannibal something race, whatever, to decide who will face Horror to overcome their fear to get the hand, which is weird, but that's what's gonna happen. So, so Billy ends up being friends with the Kraken, and he comes back, and they go through the race. I'm not gonna tell you everything about the race. It's just all obstacles. There's times you're like, oh, are they gonna win? Are they not? Blah 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 blah. And of course, spoiler alert, they won, and they get to the gauntlet or the hand, and they have to face their fears. Billy's fear was clowns, spiders, and mailmans. Uh, Irwin's was telling jokes in front of the bears, and Mandy was becoming, in the future, becoming a nice person and getting married to Irwin. And Grim didn't have any fears. His fear was already living. He was in his fear, which was being with Billy and Mandy. That was his fear. So he automatically can grab it because he just doesn't have any fear. But then Boogey and his crew ruin everything. Boogey grabs the gauntlet or the horror's hand, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it a gauntlet, but whatever you guys want to call it. He ends up grabbing it. But it turned out Boogey was not able to use the hand because Grim turned it off, and he realized that he wasn't scary enough for it. The crew tries to take it away from Grim. The bots come and save Grim, Billy, Mandy, and Irwin. So it turns out Grim gets his powers back because they saved the gauntlet. Billy comes from 2 weeks from the future. He comes and tells them to get the gauntlet away from Mandy because 2 weeks in the future she would rule and she would just mess everything up. So the person in the beginning who was hiding, I guess that was Mandy. And Grim took it, locked it up in a trunk, and happy ever after, I guess. Really quick, guys, I just want to say it was not Mandy who ends up trying to rule the world. It was Fredburger who was behind it. Billy went back in time, and he goes, "Nothing's changed." He goes, "Of course it was you," and it was Fredburger, which it was funny to me. If you watch this, let all the credits roll, and then it will show up. It was funny to me. That out of the whole movie, that probably made me laugh more than the actual movie. But yeah, I just want to throw this video in. Just want to throw this clip in here. I filmed the last clip before I knew this ending. So let me just go ahead and get back to what I was talking about. My opinion, this was the weakest, the worst Billy and Mandy special I have seen. It started off good, but it ended bad. And there was a lot of pointless scenes in this movie, and it I can't recommend it. I can't recommend watching it. I mean, if you're a fan of Billy and Mandy, you're going to watch this because I'm a fan of Billy and Mandy. But this is the weakest one yet. Yes, it has a comedy of Billy and Mandy, but there's just a lot of pointless stuff in this movie that really doesn't need to be in it. If you want to watch a Billy and Mandy special, I suggest the Halloween special and the Christmas special. This it's pointless. I don't like it. I didn't like it at all. If I had to give it a rating, I would give it a 2 out of 5. It's just not my thing. And Billy and Mandy, I love Billy and Mandy so much. That is a funny show, and I loved it. But this movie it's not bad. It just has a lot of pointless scenes in it, and the storyline could have been a lot better. You know, it could have been where uh the boogeyman won't uses Grimm's powers to get the gauntlet. Now he has extra powers. Blah 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 blah. I really wanted to like this movie, but I just couldn't. It had a lot of pointless scenes to it. I like the cameos from number three.
Who's gonna be the Grim Reaper if I'm not the Grim Reaper?
Oh, hey there! It's me, number 3. I just wanted to thank you, Boogey, for giving me this opportunity. Thanks to you, in addition to my charity work and love of rainbow monkeys, I can now also reap the immortal souls of grown-ups, collecting my dark harvest with a cold iron blade. Yeah, that'll be fun!
I don't know how many cameos they did with number three, but there was quite a few in there, and I loved it. But I just can't, I can't really love this movie. It's the worst special out of Billy and Mandy. As I said, the Halloween and the Christmas special is by far way better than this. Um, but if you like it, let me know down below. If you hate it, let me know in the comments. I just can't get with it. It's one of the worst ones in my opinion. Again, I gave it a 2 out of 5. Uh, stars, I guess, whatever you want to say. I didn't like it at all. Pointless scenes. Could have been a better storyline. Why was Irwin in there? I don't know. Um, yeah, I can't suggest this movie. Um, but yeah, so that is it, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this movie night or this movie day because it's still during the day, and that is it. So for all your collection hunting news and reviews on Toonz, click that subscribe button. Don't forget, keep watching your cartoons. I'll see all you animation geeks later. Peace. So the horror. Did you hear that voice?